Finally, there have been some papers published on essential oils and COVID-19. My name is Dr. Cheryl Wojciechowski. I'm with White Rose Apothecary, and I wanted to tell you the other day I looked on PubMed, the NIH database, and found 5 whole papers published on essential oils and something else, and how they interact and helpfully prevent COVID-19. So first, a little bit of biology. So there is a human protein called ACE2, and this seems to be the lock that COVID-19 uses, if it was a key, to get into the cells. And so what these scientists were looking at are natural compounds that would prevent, very specifically prevent, the interaction between the lock on our cell and the key that is on the surface of the COVID-19 virus. All right, so they did this all in silico, so a little bit of nomenclature. In silico means in a computer. So these were all computer models. So they had the structure of the human protein and of the protein on the COVID-19 virus, and they wanted to see what would prevent those two from getting together, and therefore hopefully prevent the virus from entering into a human cell. If you can stop this, you can really help infection. So this was in silico. There's also in vivo, which means in a living system, and in vitro is like in a test tube. Anyway, the first one in June 2020. So I'm recording this in June 2020. So it was seriously just a few days ago. And then this is from Vietnam. This is from Chemistry Select. And I'll put all of the references so you can check out the actual papers if you want to. This is on cajeput oil. If you open this up, it smells kind of a little bit like tea tree or eucalyptus or something like this. So they looked at the components in cajeput, and they found that the top 4, the highest concentration of compounds, made up 70% of this oil. This is terpene, guaiol, linalool, and cineol. And they found that these compounds alone, and more importantly, together, all of the compounds had some type of a synergistic effect that inhibited the interaction between the human ACE2 protein, again, that little lock that lets the virus in, and the key that is the virus. So this was pretty amazing. The second one has nothing to do with the type of essential oils that I use, but it's about garlic. And they actually did use garlic essential oil. I don't have this, but you can get it. I just prefer regular garlic. And this was published a couple months ago, 31st of March, 2020, in ACS Omega. And this is a journal from the American Chemical Society. The work was done in Vietnam. And they broke down garlic and found 18 substances which comprise about 99% of what garlic is made of. And they found that 17 of these had very strong inhibition between the human protein and COVID-19, which is the virus that causes COVID-19. This was pretty amazing. And the last one I'm going to tell you about is just from June 19th. And this is coming out of China. And they looked at a bunch of essential oils, and they essentially found that geranium and lemon inhibited this human protein ACE2 from binding to the COVID virus. More interesting, they actually did a couple more experiments and found that in the presence of geranium and lemon essential oils, the cells actually didn't produce as much of this A2. So there's less of this lock for COVID-19 to get into. And I thought these were really pretty amazing pieces of research. Again, I am not advocating that anything like this is a cure or anything foolproof. I'm simply reporting the research results that are out there. And again, these are in silico. It's probably a little easier to start with something modeling in a computer than it is to do it in a living system. So, but for what it's worth, I do have an inhaler where I put all of this chemistry together, and I'll put the link on that too. So, be well, stay safe, and thanks for listening.